Many people believe that if their life feels wrong, the solution is simple. Change the job, find the right partner, move to another city, start a new routine. And sometimes these changes do help. But very often, people try to repair their lives in the wrong way. They attempt to change their circumstances without first understanding the deeper forces shaping their behavior. And when that happens, the same problems tend to follow them wherever they go. A new job may feel exciting at first. A new relationship may seem full of promise. A new environment may feel like a fresh beginning. But after some time, the same frustrations quietly return. The same conflicts. The same disappointments. The same sense that something is not quite right. Why does this happen? In my experience, the answer is often simple, though not easy to accept. The difficulty does not lie only in the world around us. Very often, it lies within us. In my work, I described a part of the personality that most people prefer not to see. I called it the shadow. The shadow contains the aspects of ourselves that we reject, deny, or push away from consciousness. Our anger, our envy, our selfish impulses. But the shadow also contains something else. Very often, it contains qualities that could strengthen our lives. Confidence, creativity, ambition, honesty. Many people hide these qualities from themselves because they fear judgment or rejection. So they suppress them. And whatever we push out of consciousness does not disappear. It simply becomes unconscious. And what remains unconscious has a powerful influence over our lives. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone who believes they are always calm and patient. They take pride in being reasonable. They avoid conflict. They try to be agreeable with everyone around them. At first glance, this may seem like a good thing. But over time, something begins to happen. Small frustrations begin to accumulate. A colleague interrupts them during a meeting. A friend cancels plans at the last minute. A partner forgets something important. Individually, these things seem small, but gradually the irritation grows. And one day, something minor happens, and suddenly the anger erupts. The person may say things like, "I don't know why I reacted that way." But the truth has been present all lived in. Another example can be seen in envy. Imagine someone scrolling through social media. They see a friend starting a business, another friend traveling the world, someone else achieving recognition in their field. Suddenly they feel uncomfortable, perhaps even resentful. At first they may dismiss the feeling. They may say to themselves that it does not matter. But if they look more carefully, they may discover something important. The envy may be revealing a part of their own life that has been neglected, a dream they abandoned, a talent they never developed, a direction they were afraid to pursue. In this sense, the shadow is not only a source of difficulty, it is also a source of information. It shows us parts of ourselves that have not yet found a place in our conscious life. The problem arises when we refuse to acknowledge it, because when the shadow remains unconscious, it often begins to appear in indirect ways. One of the most common ways this happens is through projection. Instead of recognizing certain qualities in ourselves, we see them in other people. We condemn arrogance in others while ignoring our own pride. We criticize selfishness while overlooking our own hidden desires. We accuse others of weakness while refusing to confront our own fears. It is always easier to see the shadow outside ourselves. But real understanding begins when we turn our attention inward. This does not mean blaming ourselves for everything that happens. Rather, it means becoming curious about our own reactions. Pay attention to the moments when your emotion seems stronger than the situation requires. Perhaps a colleague receives praise and you feel unexpectedly irritated. Perhaps a friend offers mild criticism and you feel unusually defensive. Perhaps someone's personality simply bothers you more than it should. These moments are not random. They are signals. They may be pointing towards something in the shadow. When you begin to observe these reactions honestly, something important happens. You start to see patterns. And when a pattern becomes visible, it loses much of its unconscious power. You begin to understand why certain situations trigger strong emotions. And gradually, you gain the freedom to respond differently. This process requires patience. It also requires honesty. Because confronting the shadow means acknowledging aspects of ourselves that do not fit the image we prefer to present to the world. But this confrontation is also the beginning of psychological growth. Many people try to improve their lives by forcing themselves to become more disciplined, more productive, more positive. And while these efforts can be helpful, they often remain superficial if they are not supported by self-understanding. Real transformation begins when we recognize the deeper patterns within our own psyche. When we begin to understand the hidden motivations shaping our decisions. The long process of integrating these hidden aspects of the personality is what I called individuation. It is the gradual movement toward becoming a more complete human being. The goal is not perfection. The goal is wholeness. It is learning to accept both the light and the darker aspects of our nature. Because when the shadow is ignored, it controls us. But when it becomes conscious, it can become a source of strength. The energy once used to hide parts of ourselves becomes available for growth. Creativity returns. Authenticity grows. And our relationships with others often become more honest and stable. So before you attempt to repair your life by changing the world around you, pause for a moment. Look inward. Ask yourself which patterns seem to repeat again and again. Notice the emotions that appear unexpectedly, and consider the possibility that the answers you are searching for may not lie outside you. They may lie in understanding the parts of yourself that you have not yet fully explored. This is where the real work begins, and it is also where real change becomes possible.